Today we are going to discuss about the questions which are in your textbook. So along with the answer, I would like to explain about each and every question. So then only you will get the complete answer. So keep watching this video continuously. You will get the correct answer for each and every question. Yes, children. You know that already the chapter 1, the chemical reaction and the equation, we are discussed in a detail in the part 1 video. So now in this video we are going to discuss about the question and answers which are appeared in your textbook. Let us discuss one by one in detail. Okay, which is the first question that is in your textbook? Which of the statement above the reaction below are incorrect? See here, in this they have given one chemical reaction. In the equation form, they have represented that a reaction, and also they have listed some words or the things that is going to be happen in that reaction. You have to observe that reaction which is in the equation form they have written, and we have to see which statement is not correct. So according to this equation, see here, the lead is getting reduced. That means the quantity of lead is going to be reduced. Is that possible in that? In this, you have to observe. Okay. Next, carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Carbon is getting oxidized. Lead oxide is getting reduced. See which is the correct answer. That means the statement which is incorrect according to that chemical equation, you have to answer. Yes, observe that lead oxide, when it react with carbon, we get a lead with formation of a carbon dioxide. So lead oxide is getting reduced. Getting reduced, is it possible if you want to say it is a well balanced chemical equation? Is it possible? No. Carbon is getting oxidized. Yes, it has get oxidized in this reaction. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Carbon dioxide, it is not at all there in the reactant side. Lead is getting reduced. See, we have to show that we have to say among these 3-4 options which one is a incorrect one. Okay, observe carefully, and they are telling that which among these two, which is and which statements are incorrect. See, A and B both are incorrect according to them, or A and C are incorrect, or A, B, C are incorrect, or all are incorrect, they are asking. Okay. See, observe, while balancing the equation, we are going to notice the number of atoms on the left hand side and right hand side. They should be equal in the form, and the reactions we have to observe based on that idea, that law of conservation of mass. So, and the reaction what we are seeing, so which one is wrong, you have to, which one is incorrect. So lead is not going to reduce because 2 atoms of lead is there on reactant side and 2 atoms of lead is there on a product side. So that's why A is a incorrect statement. Next, carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. Yes, that is also incorrect. Carbon dioxide not at all there in the reactant side. So we can say that answer, that means option 1. Here in this option, A and B are incorrect statements according to the given equation. Okay, let us move on to the second question. What they are asking, let us see. See, they have mentioned one equation here, and they are asking among these type of reaction, this equation is best example for that. So is that a combination reaction or double displacement reaction, decomposition reaction or displacement reaction? See, observe carefully the equation. There are two products, that means two atoms. That atoms are substances on reactant side and two substances on product side. What had happened here? See, observe carefully. oxygen has replaced its position. Okay, that means it is displacement of oxygen we are observing. So on observing these things, so it belongs to which category or which type of reaction you have to observe and say. Okay, then only the one element which has replaced or rechanged their position. So it belongs, the answer is displacement reaction. Yes, oxygen has displaced its displacement of oxygen we are seeing. Okay, ferrous trioxide get converted into aluminum oxide. Okay, so like that. Let us move on to the third question. Question number 3. What happens when dilute HCl, hydrochloric acid, is added to iron filling? What happens? Yes, you have to choose the correct answer from the given statements. First statement, hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced when the dilute HCl react with the iron. Is it possible? You have to think chlorine gas and iron oxide, hydroxide are producers. No reaction will take place. Iron salt and water are produced. See what happens when any metal react with the hydrogen, that means HCl, any acids. So you are going to see the liberation of gas, and also that iron or a metal get combines with chlorine and forms a that metallic chloride. So that one, option A is the correct. That means when iron react with dilute HCl, we get a liberation of hydrogen gas along with the formation of a iron chloride. That means ferrous chloride you can also say. Okay. Fourth question. What is there? What is the balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equation should be balanced? Already we are discussed about that. So why we have to balance, and what is that? A balanced equation has an equal number of atoms of different elements in the reactants and the products. The chemical equation should be balanced to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. So, based on this law of conservation of mass, so we have to balance the equation. So, in this way, you have to write the answer for this question. Yes, question number 5. So, in question number 5, they are asking, translate the following statements into chemical equation and then balance them. They have given a word type of equations that you have to represent that word type of equation in its symbolically you have to represent that. Already you know that there are two kinds of chemical equations we can see. That one is word equations and another one is a symbolic equations. They're asking you to write this word equation in the form of symbolical equation. First one, hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen to form a ammonia. Hydrogen gas combines with the nitrogen to form a ammonia. And hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. So likewise they are asking you. So for that answer is here. So how we have to write? In this way, when hydrogen react with a nitrogen, we get a ammonia. Yes, like this in this form. That means in the symbolical way, you have to represent that word equation in symbolic equation form. Okay, I hope after observing this, is that correct or not? You have to think, and also we have to watch whether they are written with the proper symbols or not, and are they balanced or not. These type of things that we have to keep it in mind while writing any word equation in a symbolical equation form. Okay, I hope you have understood this, and you are able to write this type of equations in a symbolical form, in their symbolical form. Okay, let us move on to the next question. They are asking you to balance the chemical equation. They are given one equation, NHO3 plus calcium hydroxide. So then calcium nitrate, NO3 twice, then H2O. That whether first you have to check whether all the atoms on left hand sides and how many atoms are there, how many elements with how many atoms they are present, and the right hand side the elements with how many molecules or atoms. You can say first you have to check it whether they are in a balanced way. It's okay, you can say that this equation is a balanced equation. But if not like that, no, you have to balance by multiplying some numerical values. So then only you can balance the equations. Okay, in detail you have studied in part 1 video. So if you are having confusion, you go through that again, you will get the correct answer how to balance the equation in detail. In stepwise we have explained it there. So in order to understand that this is very important question, you are going to face this type of questions in examination. Now observe here, see, when we are comparing the number of atoms of each elements on both the sides, we come to know that it is an imbalanced chemical equation. Then I have multiplied some numerical values with that value, the number of molecules present on the reactant side and the product side. Then I have written this type of equation. The answer which I have written, it is in the balanced form. Okay. Yes, likewise the B, they are also, we have to check it and we have to balance like this. So how I have balanced, once you go through that you will get the answer. Okay, next NaCl, AgNO3 gives rise to AgCl and NaNO3. See, observe carefully. Sodium is one atom on left hand side. Sodium on right hand side also one. Cl on both the side one one. Ag is also a one one. So then you have to say, you have to manage. Yes, it is in a balanced form only. Okay, yes, that only. Yes, and you have to write like this. And then, and also fourth one, BaCl2 plus H2SO4, BaSO4 and 2HCl. Observe carefully. Okay, BaSO4, yes, SO4 is there, Ba is there, Cl2 is there, but in right side HCl is there. Cl atom is only one man. Then in order to balance that, we have multiplied with a numerical value 2. Then if you multiplied HCl by 2, then you got a 2 HCl on product side. If the two atoms of hydrogen becomes on a product side, we have to balance on right side, left side also, no, in reactant side. Then what I have done, BaCl2 H2SO4 and HCl. See, is that balanced or not? You have to check it once. Okay, H2, 2 molecules of hydrogen and 2 molecules of hydrogen is there. Cl is also a 2 atoms and the Cl this side also 2. Okay, now we can say that it is in balanced way. Okay, yes, move on to the next one. Okay, yes, in this question 7, write the balanced equation, chemical equation for the following reaction. See, here also they have given word equations that you have to write it in there in a symbolical form. Like this, you have to write calcium hydroxide. How you have to represent? CaOH twice. Like that, you have to write plus CO2 CaCO3. That is calcium carbonate plus water. The molecular formula of water is H2O. Here you must have the knowledge related to the formulas of the compounds. Okay, calcium carbonate, how you have to write, carbon dioxide, how you have to write, water, what is the formula represent used to represent the water, carbon, calcium hydroxide, how you have to write. So like this you have to first learn. Already while doing the activities you are going to do this, you are going to learn all this type of writing formulas. Okay, yes, second one, zinc plus silver nitrate gives rise to zinc nitrate and silver. How I have represented that in a equation, say equation form. See, observe carefully, and in that way you have to write it. Okay, first you have to write the formulas, then you balance that one, then you will get the answers. Okay, The third one, in the similar manner, we can observe like that. Okay, that is also a balanced way, in a balanced form, and we have represented that statement in a symbolically. So in that way, you have to answer all these type of questions. This is very important. You have to must and should learn for the examination purpose also, and to gain the knowledge also. Okay, because eighth question also. Similarly, write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each cases. See, potassium bromide, which is in aqueous form, and a barium iodide and potassium iodide. See, you have to write it in the like this. You have to write it in the equation form, and also it belongs to which type of reaction you have to mention it. Yes, second one also have done like this. So it also it belongs to decomposition reaction. And the third one, hydrogen chloride, when you get a hydrogen chloride, this type of reactions are called as a combination reaction. And a magnesium and hydrochloride, when combines, we get a magnesium chloride plus hydrogen, that I have represented using their formulas. Magnesium is Mg and 2HCl represents the chloric acid, and then you get a magnesium chloride MgCl2 plus H2 represent hydrogen. So here the displacement is happened there, that Cl has displaced its place, that means change in the place, so that it becomes a displacement reaction. Okay, next, ninth question. In ninth question, what does one mean by exothermic, and what do you mean by, what does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reaction? With the example you have to answer. Okay, let us consider. Already we have discussed it from a sixth standard itself. You are started to learn about the meaning of exothermic reactions or exothermic word. Already you know that. See, it is the hexo means giving and giving out or exhaling of heat. Okay, that you have to keep it in mind, then only it is become easy for you to answer. So exothermic reaction means those reactions in which heat is evolved, liberated, you can say evolved or liberated or produced, that type of words you can also use, are known as exothermic reactions. An exothermic reaction is indicated by writing plus heat. Yes, the liberation of heat is going to be happen, no, that's why the plus heat on the product side of the equation. Yes, here is some examples which help us to understand how the exothermic reactions are going to be represented in the equation form. Here two examples are there. Observe carefully. This type of equations are considered as a exothermic equation. That means this type of reactions are called exothermic reactions. Okay, let us move that, know about the what do you mean by endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction means those reactions in which heat is absorbed. You observe that word. Yes, it is going to be absorbed, are known as a endothermic reactions. An endothermic reactions is usually indicated by writing heat on the product side of the chemical equation. Let us observe this equation. Observe carefully. So you can see that minus heat, that means it is a absorption of heat, is that is it requires some heat in order to get that product. So that it is, this type of reactions are considered as a endothermic reaction. In this way you have to answer this type of question along with the example if they ask. So first you have to write the examples, then you have to explain the meaning of that reaction. Okay, now move on to the next question, that is question number 10. In that question number 10, they are asking why is respiration considered as a exothermic reaction? Explain. Respiration. Now, okay, it is considered as exothermic. Is the heat is going to be a liberate or produced during exothermic respiration? You have to think it now. And yes, for that question, you have to write answer like this. Respiration is an exothermic process because during respiration, glucose combines with oxygen in the cells of our body to form carbon dioxide and water. along with the production of energy. Yes, by this answer you can say that the respiration considered an exothermic reaction. So in this way you have to answer this question. Okay, yes, and along with the equation I have represented there, so you can answer in a better manner in order to know that one. Okay, yes, next come to the next question. Yes, which is 11th question. Why are decomposition reactions are called the opposite of combination? Decomposition and the combination. Yes, splitting and combining. See, if they observe the words itself, we can answer in your own way. So along with the equations, you have to write equations for these reactions. Okay, yes, answer. In decomposition reaction, a single compound breaks down to produce two or more simpler substance. Okay, yes, for example, while in a combination reaction, two or more substances simply combine to form a new substance. Yes, after knowing the definition, definitely you can say that decomposition and the combination reaction are opposite reactions, opposite type of reactions. Okay, with this example, this equations you can observe like that. One compound gets split and forms other two or more elements, but in this you can see that two or more elements combined and form a new substance, or form a new substance, means single substance. So observing this, we can see they are all opposite to each other. Okay, yes. Question number 12. In question number 12, write one equation each for the decomposition reaction where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light and electricity. Yes, you have to think in that way only. Yes, otherwise they will ask in an indirect question. For this type of questions, the answer is very easy. When we observe the questions like this, more than 4 to 5 sentences, don't get upset, because they are, if you understand that question, the answer is very simple for that. Okay, here is the answer for that. Simply you can observe these equations and you can say how we can write. Okay, calcium carbonate, when it is given, no, it combine, that compound gets split into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And similarly silver bromide, that split in the presence of a light. One example I have given. So when you expose the photo reel in the light, it get blur. That means due to the chemical reaction called as a photoelectric reaction. Okay, the photochemical reaction. So due to that, that is also considered as a decomposition reaction. Okay, water, when we pass the electric current through that, due to the electrolysis process, how the water elements get separated. So these are the examples which indicates the decomposition reactions. So with the help of energy, what we are going to supply in the form of a light, heat and electricity. Let us move on to the next question, 13th question. What is the difference between the displacement and double displacement? Means you have studied that single displacement and double displacement. Instead of single displacement, they will use, write simply the displacement, so but you don't get confused. Okay, displacement and double displacement reaction, write equation for these reactions they are asking. Yes, already know that one element is going to be displaced, it's change its position. Okay, let us see what I have written in this, written for this question. In displacement reaction, a more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its solution. Okay, for example, when ferrous combines with a cuprous sulfate, you can see that the more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal. See, copper gets separated from a ferrous, that cuprous sulfate gets splits, and that with and displaces a less reactive metal. See how it has formed that, we can see the displacement of sulfur. So that shows that it is a single displacement, okay, reaction. This reaction where iron displaces copper from its solution. Okay, in this way also. Yes, in double displacement reaction, two reactants in solution exchange their ions. Yes. So here is an example. You can observe NO3 and Cl, how they are exchanged their places. Okay. So that means this double displacement reaction where silver nitrate and sodium chloride exchange chlorine, and that means negative ion, and the NO3 ion between them. They are exchanged that ions with them. So this type of reactions are called as a double displacement reaction. So along with the equation I have explained here, I hope you have understood in a better manner. In this way they will ask for other type of reactions also. So you have to be get ready like this. Okay. Yes. Next, 14th question. What is 14th question? In 14th question, in the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from the silver nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal. Write down the reaction involved in it. So just you have to write the equation only, nothing else. See, silver nitrate, that first you must know the formulas used to represent silver nitrate, AgNO3. Yes, copper, Cu. When they are that they are showing the displacement reaction, means that something, some ions is going to displace, they, that means exchange there, they exchange the ions, that two metals exchange the ions. Here if they exchange only one ion, so then we can say that that is called as a displacement reaction. You can see the change in the position of a nitrate ion. Okay, then it has become copper nitrate and with the formation of a silver metal. Okay, in this way you have to represent the equation in the equation form, what they have given in the, based on the explanation they have given in the question. Okay. Yes, this is also very important in order to, and after understanding the lessons it is very important for us to write like this. Next, 15th question. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? Precipitation reaction explained by giving examples. See the answer, how I have written. A reaction with which an insoluble solid, that is very important. That word you have to write it. Okay. So called precipitate is formed that separates from the solution is called the precipitate reaction. Okay. Next example, when a solution of iron chloride and ammonium hydroxide are mixed, iron Fe chloride, iron chloride FeCl. Okay, like that. Afterwards, you have to balance the atom. Ammonium NH3, ammonium hydroxide NH3OH twice, like that. Okay, mixed a brown precipitate of iron. Okay, brown precipitate of iron hydroxide will form. See, this is equation. If iron chloride CFeCl3, and when it combines with the NH4OH, that means ammonium hydroxide, so you get a iron hydroxide FeOH3, and then ammonium chloride will form. In this way you have to represent and explain the precipitate reaction, the reaction in which we are going to get insoluble solid, then that type of reactions are called as a precipitation reaction. Along with example you got the answer. Okay, next, the in 16th question they are asking, what is oxidation and what is reduction? That means explain. You have to explain the following terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples. You have to explain these two reactions with two examples. That only they are asking. Let us see the definition. Oxidation. It is a gain. It is the addition of oxygen to substance is called as oxidation. And here is the two examples where when you add n oxygen to a metals you get a corresponding sulfur dioxide, like that. No, so here two examples are there which help us to understand the oxidation reaction. And the reduction means removal of oxygen from the substance. You can see the reduction. Okay, in this reactions, in this equation, when you observe cuprous oxide, otherwise copper oxide, react in the presence, otherwise heated in the presence of hydrogen, that oxygen in the copper get removed. Okay, that has then the removed, and that means that removal of oxygen from that substance is called as a reduction substance. So here two examples are there. I hope you have understood what kind of reactions are called as reduction and what kind of reactions are called as oxidation. On what basis you are going to identify the addition of oxygen or removal of oxygen. Okay, yes, this is all about the 16th question. Now let us discuss about the question number 17. Okay, see, there they have given one tricky type of questions. If you have gone through the textbook properly, no, you will be in a position to answer these things. Otherwise, you will get confusion or you will not going to get any answer for this type of questions. Observe carefully. First, you have to read the question properly. A shiny brown colored element X. They are not given any what element, but they are represented that element in terms of X. On heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and the block colored compound forward. That element name you have to find out. See here, according to that, I have written the information like this. Element X is, let element X is copper. When we start to heat that, see, best example to understand this means when your mama is cooking something on a stove, oven, so using a vessel containing a copper bottom, no, so there you can see the block powder is going to be formed on the surface of the bottom of the utensils. So that is copper oxide. You can see that black colored compound is copper oxide. Yes, you can also represent like this. See, after writing this equation, you can understand in a better manner. Copper plus oxygen. So you get a copper oxide. Yes, this is the, in this way you are going to get a suit. So in during the cooking food. Okay, likewise based on that idea only they have given this question. They have asked this type of question, so you have to get ready for this type of question also. So if you are ready to answer this type of question, once you have to go through the textbook, each and every sentence you have to observe and read, then only it is possible for you to answer this type of question. Okay, I hope you have understood the 17th question. Now let us discuss about the question number 18. In that they are asking, why do we apply paint on a iron articles? Yes, the same question they can also ask like this. How do you protect iron or a metal articles from the rusting, like that? Okay, see, let us see how I have, what is the answer that I have written here. Okay, yes, here is the answer. Okay, yes. Okay, why do we apply paint on a iron articles? Yes, answer for that, a paint does not allow iron articles to come in contact with the air or water, and saves iron articles from the damaging due to the rusting. Yes, already you know that what is a rusting. It's a process of getting a rust. Okay, so rust, how this rust will form? When any metals exposed to air, that means metal like iron exposed to air, where it has moisture, and then in the presence of sunlight, that undergoes oxidation reaction and damages that metal. Okay, that is called that type of formation of a brown color powder on a metal is a rust, and the process is called as a rusting. So instead of explaining whole thing, if you write like this, you will get a more marks. Okay, let us move on to the 19th question. Okay, oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? So you can see in the while storing that any pickles and other things, no, so they will use oil, more oil for as a preservatives, and are flushed with nitrogen. So why they are doing like that? That question will comes in our mind. Okay, for that you have to write answer. So to keep food items fresh and safe from getting oxidized, food items are flushed with the nitrogen. Okay, yes, to in order to keep the food fresh we are doing like this, because we are flushed with the nitrogen. Okay, yes, next here is the 20th question. So explain the following terms with one example, corrosion and rancidity. Yes, nothing but corrosion, nothing but a rusting. Okay, yes, here is the answer for that one. First you have to define, so then you have to answer. It's a process by which in which the metals are eaten up gradually by the action of a air, moisture or a chemical. Okay, chemical on their surfaces. Okay, due to the presence of, when see example here, when iron is exposed to a moist air for a long period of time, its surface acquires coating of brown, that flaky substance called a rust. The rust is mainly hydrated iron, that means iron oxide, Fe2O3 and XH2O, that represents the ferrous oxide. Okay, iron oxide, that one. Okay, yes, this is the best example, and I have represented that word equation in the form of a symbolical equation, in a symbolical form. See, observe carefully, you can get the complete idea related to rusting process, that is corrosion. Okay, yes, in the rancidity, if we start to define that, you have to write like this: the condition produced by aerial oxidation of fats and oils in the food, marked by the unpleasant smell and taste, is called the rancidity. That means spoiling of food, you can also say, due to the oxidation. Okay, here is the one of the example. Before going to study that one, rancidity spoils the food materials prepared in fats and oils which have been kept for a considerable time and make them unfit to eat. Yes, definitely. Okay, rancidity can be prevented by adding antioxidants to food containing fats and oils. It can be also be prevented by flushing fat and oil containing foods with a nitrogen and before sealing that one. So already why we have to flush with fat and oil containing food with the nitrogen, for that answer question we are already answered. So that also you have to write it here. Okay, in order to avoid the rancidity. Okay, thank you. I hope you got answer for all the questions which are in your textbook. I hope this video is very useful for you. Keep watching the videos in Guru Renuka Sudha A R. Thank you. Take care.